Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to episode number 21 here in the EMC to the Sky playthrough. Today we're going to start off by jumping right into the end. I need to make another end cake because we have used up the one that we had, which is not a problem. We've already taught our system how to craft them, and that means we can head right into the end to get started. We have dimensional access for our wireless crafting grid, and so we can access everything we need here to do what we need to do. Uh, the we have our dimensional resource generator here working. We're going to grab that. Actually, well, let's leave it in place. What we need to do is put our steel casing underneath, and then we need to grab a dragon head. We have one dragon head, which is all we need. We can actually craft these with dragon egg essence and blank skulls once we get the dragon egg essence running up. But we only need one for our purposes. And then it does say that what we need to do is break this and replace it because it is a little bit funky about knowing that those blocks are there. And so now when we put this in, we got our check mark. That means this is going to be running, and it's going to be making the advanced end capsules for us. What are these used for again? 3 of them makes these things. Let's just do that just to get them out of our system. Guess I have one left over. Not a big deal. So now we have the end advanced capsules going. This is a slow process. Anytime we have a slow process, we're going to want to use our watch of flowing time because it is not a slow process. Put that down next to it. Put a watch on. We turn it on. And we are going to fly through making our end advanced capsules. What we need is a couple of things. We need to go here, and we need to, well, first of all, we need to grab one just so that we can finish the quest. So let's do that. And then this quest is done. Draconium dust is another quest that we can just finish because we've already gotten draconium dust. We just need it in our inventory so that the quest book can update. So that's done. Everything is done in this chapter except for Dragon's Breath. That means we need to get 4 stacks of end advanced capsules and a glass bottle and encapsulate them. Encapsulating requires us to craft this thing. That requires us to have an advanced crafting table, which requires this thing, which requires our basic crafting table, which requires this thing. So we have a lot of stuff to do with our extended crafting tables. But first, we just want to get 4 stacks of these end advanced capsules. Dragon's Breath is the only thing we're going to be using them for, I believe. We already have infinite ender pearls, infinite chorus fruit, infinite draconium dust, infinite shulker shells. So the only thing we need it for is this process. We can also do this process with it if we like, but it's not necessary because I can make these with the dragon seeds. Oh, and they're actually required for making the different tables, which I'm glad I noticed that, so we don't have to come back. I am going to grab a few extra stacks, maybe just an extra stack. But one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to claim this area, and then I'm going to force load it too. That way this can sit here, and it can run for us while we're back in the overworld. And that way, if we do need more, we can come back and we'll have a stack sitting here. I am going to take my watch of flowing time with us, not because I don't want it running fast, but because I want that 4 billion EMC back for our system. I'm not quite at the point with EMC where I'm willing to just give it up for to leave it sitting around like crazy. So we're going to just grab a couple more stacks here, and I'll meet you back in the overworld. Okay, we're back in the overworld, and we have our end advanced capsules. But like I said, we can't really do anything with them until we get into extended crafting. And I think that there is a chapter on it. There is. So we can follow through there just to knock that quest line out as well. Let's do extended crafting. To make the basic crafting table, we need these different catalyst components pieces. So they use black iron ingots, which is just iron with black dye. That is something we can teach our system how to make. That means we can teach it how to make this, which is EMCable. We can teach it how to make the component. Component requires luminescence. Luminescence is made like this, also EMCable. That means we can craft it now. And we can make the basic catalyst. Should be everything. And now we can make the basic crafting table. One done out of all of them. But we do need to grab it, put it in our inventory. Next one is our advanced crafting table. So the advanced crafting table probably is mostly gold. So this we already know. This is basically all the same crafting, but we use gold instead of the things that we have made before. And then we can grab an advanced crafting table. And that finishes this off. It wants us to make the elite. The elite is now the same thing, except now we're using diamonds to make the components. And once we have those, we can go this far, put that, and we're going to go up to the, what's it called? The ultimate crafting table, which uses emeralds. So we're going to craft that. We're going to craft the catalyst, and we're going to craft the table. That finishes out our chapter in extended crafting. Fastest chapter complete ever. Let's see, we get a reward for that one? Maybe not. Maybe extended crafting doesn't have one. That's okay. Let's go back to encapsulating, because encapsulating is the next thing that we need to make. So this uses at least an advanced crafting tier. I think we're going to grab one. I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to grab one of each. I know you can probably use the larger ones to craft with, but it'll be nice to have all of them, I think. I'm going to get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. And we're going to put this there, this one there, this one there, and this one here. So that's all 4 of our tables. Let's take a look and see what we need to do to make the encapsulating transmutator. So in order to craft it, we need to have nether catalyst, nether advanced capsules, biocapsules, biocatalyst, and advanced capsules, as well as emeralds and resource generators. So let's see what we can do for that. So first of all, we need an emerald block. Check. We need catalysts. So we have this one, and this one, I think is what it said it needed. Or maybe it also needs this. It means we need to craft this. So we're gonna have to grab some chorus fruit from our system. Grab one. I'll borrow you for a second. Oh, this is not EMCable. I'm gonna borrow you for a second. Is still working to craft away to make these 49,000 of our basic processors that we still need to process. Having a bad day. Okay. Forest fruit. Back to what we were doing. We need to make catalysts. Per block. Dimensional end catalysts. And let's take a look at that again. Encapsulator. We need 2 of those. Means I need to make 1 more of these. And then we have end advanced capsules. We need biocapsules and nether advanced capsules. So let's look up capsule. End advanced. I don't think we need the regular ones, but that's what we have. We do need to get some biocapsules. Oh, those are overworld capsules. So the biocapsules, I don't know if I took that system down or not. So let's go down the ladder. It did. So we need to go in here We need to grab our bio generator and a catalyst. Put one down. Put this in. Do we need anything else for this? I think we need water. So if we grab this, it's been a while since we did this. This was early in the game. So we need, how many of these do we need for this? We just need 1, 2, 3, and 4. I need to grab 3 more buckets of water. There we go. Now we have everything we need for our encapsulating thing. I believe we have everything we need except for the resource generators. Let's grab those. And we're going to go over here. This needs to be crafted in the gold table. And I wonder if we can shift click this in. We sure can. So now we've got an encapsulating transmutator, which means we have this part done. So there's different things that it wants us to make here. Let's work on doing a couple of things first. Nether star, there's a crafting recipe for that, but I don't really want to craft it using that way. I'm just going to cross it off because we already have a pretty decent way to make nether stars. Let's take a look at it just so that we can see. It's just, oh, basically you put in the, oh no, we put in the nether advanced capsules and a wither skeleton skull. So if we wanted to automate it this way, we could certainly do that. I think our way works just fine. Phantom membranes, we need a feather and 4 stacks of biocapsules. We're going to have to automate some stuff to make that happen. And that's okay. These, I'm not sure what kind of a use there is for them. We use them for the sleep charm. We use them to craft elytras. We use them for the jet boots upgrade for pneumaticraft. We use them for the player damage trap. I don't know that we're going to need that very often, but we can automate it. Dragon's breath, we already know. We just need our capsules, which we already made. Let's grab them. And then we need a bottle. System doesn't know how to make bottles. Okay, and then we can put this down. We're just going to do it right here until we figure out what it needs. That's fine with me. So that finishes out our dimensional resources chapter, which was our main goal. And we should get a chapter reward for that one, I believe. Yes, this one here. This nether star block. That's not too bad. So we still have compact machines, Project E, Botania, Tier 3 resources, resourceful bees, and encapsulating to finish out. So let's take a look and see what else we have for what we're working on today. In our Chapter 2, the next project we have is Project E. I want to check and see how far we are with this. Though we are working on EMC, we're only at 15.68 billion at the moment, which is lower than what we had the last time when we were doing it. So we definitely can't make any progression. So I think what we need to work on is setting up our new EMC system. So I'm going to gather together all the resources. We're going to go down to our EMC generation area, and we're going to make things a little more advanced down there so that we can generate EMC at a ridiculous rate. We're going to make a brief pit stop because we need to have dragon seeds. And I don't want to put them up here because I'm going to build them in like huge amount. So our dragon seed, if I can spell dragon, oh, fingers are not doing great today. We need dragon scales and insanium essence. I have some dragon scale from when I killed the dragon. We can use half of that. We need the insanium here. And then we need prosperity seeds. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have our very first dragon seed. Dragon seed, like I said, is going to be used to generate infinite dragon heads. But we're going to do that down in our EMC generation area. Did set up a few things to make this work already. One is that I set up a link for our EMC, or not our EMC, our refined storage system down here so that we can connect to it. So the network receiver is connected to a transmitter up there, and it essentially makes it so that we have like a wired connection wirelessly. So we are connected to our storage just like we connected to it all the way with a cable. And so we don't need to run cable all the way across and down here in order to import things, which is going to be great. We could also use some things with like ender chests or with EMC links for some of the stuff like we do with these things, but for dragon eggs, we actually need to import them into the system, I think, because actually the dragon eggs, once we have them crafted, could go into the EMC network, and we may do that. We'll see. But first of all, we want to get set up with how we're going to set up these farms. So what I was thinking, I'm going to do it over here. We'll just figure this out together. I was thinking we could do 4, and then we could share a common PowerPoint for them, and we could turn it on. We're going to need farmland, and I don't know that I have farmland for this. We may need to craft some, which is going to involve doing this. And our Insanium will continue to build back up now that we have a system up there for it, which is excellent. So we're going to do that. We're going to put one of these in here right away so it starts growing, because we want to make sure that that is giving us seeds as fast as we possibly can, because we need more seeds from it. What I was thinking next is we could do another point on top of that and do the same thing on each layer. And so basically we could set 12 farms very close together. Oops. Be standing so I can break this without taking 20 years to do it. Do that one there. There. These do not want a place where I want them to go. And this one placed in the wrong spot as well. Fix that. Very precarious place to be doing things that cost a lot of nether stars to make. Good thing we have infinite nether stars. So we're going to put these like this. Oh. Having real trouble getting things placed where I want them to be placed today. Alright, all of our farmland is ready. We can set the power here. We can set the power here. And so then all we need to do is make it so that these things will import into our system. And so I'm going to grab an importer. And we're going to do, see if we can place these 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll do 1, 2, and 3 over here. And then we'll need cable. And let's connect our cable. We'll just go like this. Then this can come right across, connect to our system here. And so now this system should be importing anything that's in here. Perfect. So now if we check in here and we go to Dragon, we can see we are importing our Dragon Egg Essence. And eventually we will get to the point where we are also getting Dragon seeds. And so we can increase the amount that we get here. So I'm going to let this run for a while. We should be, I'm going to actually move this over just to make sure we're getting an effect on it. Take a look. Right now, going at that speed, if I put this right next to it, does this affect it at all? Oh my gosh, look at that. We need to increase the speed with which we import, because that was crazy how fast that was. So we need speed upgrades. Let's see. Do I need any? Can I craft a stack upgrade yet? So stack upgrade needs 4 speed upgrades. So let's get that. We're going to actually craft 7 of these. And then we'll grab 3 of them. The other 4 can go in here. And then in this importer, we're going to do this. And then that way we can pull all that in. And you can see just how crazy fast those are growing. And let's check out the dragon essence. That's just bonkers how much dragon egg essence we're getting there. We still need this to produce some seeds for us, and I don't know how often that will. It may not even do that. I haven't tested that. So let's take a look at seeds. It's possible that we don't have any seed chance, and we need to actually craft more of these, which means that we have to kill more ender dragons if we want to increase this. But at the rate that we're going, I don't know if that's going to be really necessary. So let's see here. With this, we can craft that many chunks already. And that means we have just crafted almost a stack and a half of dragon eggs in that short period of time. Each of these is worth 7.86 million or 16.77 million per stack. And so if we get this growing, so we have several of these running, and they're automatically crafting the essence into dragon eggs and importing them back into our system, we will end up with a crazy level of EMC generation. So I'm going to let this run for a while. We'll see if we get seeds, and we'll go from there and determine what we're going to do for that. And we'll figure out how we want to set up the auto crafting for creating the dragon eggs, which will make a crazy level of EMC for us. Hit our next bottleneck. I got enough dragon seeds pretty easily, actually, in order to fill those. They started coming very fast. Already at 26,000 dragon essence. So to craft dragon scales, I can very easily fill my inventory already. And then I can use those to craft just a crazy amount of dragon eggs. That's just been a couple of minutes. So we now are up to 16 billion EMC. We started around 14 billion when we started to build this, and that's after we built all of these things. The bottleneck that we have now is I'm pulling out about 52,000 FE per tick. If we check this out, and I think that this is still not correct, but let's look and see what it says. Our botany pots, it says this uses 12,000 FE per tick. Actually might be accurate. I think it uses a little less than that, but either way, we don't have enough to keep up with all of these. Fortunately, what we do have is some new materials that we made during our end of our power chapter in order to craft some more reactors. And we have a nice big building to put them in. So I think we're going to make a power floor here in our pyramid and make it so that we can create just a ridiculous amount of power. The question is, where do we want to put that room? I think that this floor could be okay. We're using the main floor here as crafting. So we could also put it in the sub-basement down here, which would require a little bit of digging. But I think that this floor up here is a nice size for us to use. We could either do that one, or we could go over. Is it over here? No, this is the level we're on. Go up here. I guess that is the level I was thinking of. We could go in here, and we could turn this into our power room. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of time, get some reactor stuff set up, and we'll make this into just a ridiculous level of power generation. So while we have done the power reactors before, we haven't done a nitro one yet. And so I'm going to work here, and we're going to set one up together, and we'll do one, and then I'm going to add more as we need for the level of power that we want to generate. The first things first, I'm going to need a flux plug, which means I'm going to need to craft some of these and some of these. I need some more of these, actually. Do a stack. And then we're going to make a plug. Plug is going to go right on the roof. This is where power is going to go into our system. Last time when we built this, we set it up so that there was inputs going on each side. And I realized I can use from pipes, we have universal pipes. If I put one of these on here, we can actually spread it out like this. I think that we can actually put things in at any point on this thing. And that's why it's connecting like that. But I'm going to do it like this anyway. So we need to get this to work, if you recall. We need fuel. We actually might need to grab the book because it's been a minute since I did it. Let's grab a manual and look at the nitro reactor. Generators, reactors, nitro. And then we want to go to the next page. So we need coal, we need redstone, we need ice or snow. I think that is what is in there. It might be, actually, that might be another block from power. And we need the uraninite. So first things first, it's uraninite. We have EMC ability to make that. Let's grab an EMC link. I think we'll probably just be okay with the regular one. So let's do this. If we need to speed it up later, we will. We'll put it in like this, set it like this. And that means we can have it filling in. The reason I think that we'll be okay with the low one is because while it's taking a little bit here, I think this is going to stockpile and we'll be fine. And so we're already at the point where we're generating some heat. We're not generating power yet. I think we are, but not much. 40,000 FE per tick, which is a lot, but not as much as we can. So the next thing in the book is coal. And I want to try something that I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I was thinking about this when we had fuel here. I wonder if this system will think that this is coal. It doesn't. I was hoping that because that replaces coal in our system, it would count as a replacement for importing coal like this. But that's fine. It's not like it's difficult to set this up. I just thought that would be a neat way to kind of trick the system. So let's do coal. So now we have that going in. That brings us up to, it's actually decreased our efficiency because our temperature's gotten hotter. So the next thing we need is to have water going in. So let's grab an EMC link and we can connect it here. And we need to grab a water bucket. And now we should have water, which means we're cooling down, which means our power should go back up as we cool down. We also need an EMC link for redstone. So we can set it. I just want to keep this symmetrical looking. So that's good. We can grab redstone out of here. And I want to know if this can use redstone blocks or if it has to be redstone dust. So can you take, yeah, it can. So let's just grab redstone blocks instead. We'll set you to redstone blocks. We'll fill this up just so that we don't have to wait for it to fill up. But that'll just make it more efficient for filling this up, just like we did with coal blocks up here. And then the last thing is for us to look here for our coolant. Carbon materials like coal and wood will improve the fuel efficiency. Redstone will speed up the production. Reactor will stop when it's full and start when it has less than 70% of energy if the auto mode is on. So we have auto mode turned on. Now we do anyway. We need coolant. So if we go in here and let's look at power, because I think that there is one in power that we can use, the dry ice. So if we can automate making this, doesn't have an EMC value, but the blue ice does, and we already have it. So let's go take a look at our setup over here in our other house, and we can determine, can we automate the process for crafting dry ice? And if we can fairly easily, then we'll use that. If not, we'll just use blue ice. So I think that the issue is that we have a setup up here where we can do this, where we just put the blue ice or the we put in the blue ice in here, and it will automatically craft it. Let's just test it. Blue ice. The question that I don't know for sure is, I do know if we put 2 pieces of blue ice there, it will work and turn it into dry ice. Question is, if I put them in here, will it be smart enough to not overfill this thing, or is it going to require us to have 2 items? Looks like it's going to require us to have 2 items. So this system would be a little more complicated to do, and I might do it in the future, but I think for now I'm just going to bypass it, and we're just going to use the dry or the blue ice in our reactor. What we need to do is set it up so the crafter goes into a chest that has it so it divides those 2 items to 2 different hoppers and feeds in, or a similar system to that. And I just don't feel like setting that up just at the moment. We may do it later when we work on increasing some efficiencies of things in this world. But for now, I'm just going to break this block. We'll grab an EMC link. We'll put it down here. I like how this came out pretty nicely symmetrical. It just pleases me a little bit, you know? Doesn't have to be like that. Certainly would work anyway. But sometimes when things look cool, it makes them even better. So let's check out the things in here. We now have coolant, which is keeping the temperature down. We're using the fuel with good efficiency because of the blocks of coal. We're on auto mode. We have redstone. We have water. Is there any other things that we need in here? I think that covers everything that we're going to do. So let's check and see how much we're making. We're generating 78, 87, 86, 87,000 FE per tick. So if we check out this plug, we're transferring out 86,000. And I think that changes depending on how full the reactor is. But this is going to self-regulate to keep it so it's running as best as it can. Let's head back down to our dragon eggs, because we're getting already close to the limit. This episode has flown by, but we did get a lot done. We're going to take a look at our system over here and see how that has improved our dragon egg farm. So we were only using 50,000, but obviously we're more because we added another 87,000. So we're still using all the power we can, and I think it's only able to get that first layer going. So we need to add even more just to get to the point where we're using more than one layer of this farm. Also, those dragon egg seed or essences, we're now at 92,000. We need to set up a system on how we're going to turn that into EMC. I think we're going to run over a little bit because I want to finish that right now. We can do that with a simple sequential fabricator system. Actually, we'll use a crafter. Now that we have those, I like them a little better than the sequential fabricators. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in the crafter, put it right here. I'm going to put an exporter. Grab one of those. We're going to put it like this. And we're going to tell it that we want to export our dragon essence. And then in here, we're going to say for this recipe, it is all of these. And then we're going to apply. But we want this recipe, keep it internal. We're going to need power for this, so let's grab that. I think I'm going to have to craft a flux point, because I think I'm out. Flux point. We're going to set this to Ender's network, so we have power going in. If we can get any power off the network without this using it. Let's limit this. 134 is what we can do, so let's transfer limit this to 120,000. That way we still have power that can be distributed to other parts of our network. It's still not working because I think we're using more power than that up at the base. Let's set this to 100,000 for now. This does not want to work. Let's set this to 40,000. You get power now? Why are you not getting power from this? Oh, you know what? It's because it just shifted all the power up to here. Let's set this at 0. Let's set this up at 0. We can set this back down to 80,000. I know we can handle an extra 80,000 off the grid because we just added 80,000. Okay, so the dragon essence is coming in. It's making chunks. This recipe we're going to do, make dragon eggs and put them external. So they'll go into here. So the last thing we want to do, let's turn this to off to activate. On to activate. Okay, so now I can grab the essence. I can do that. And I'm going to grab from our system, just do cobblestone. What I want to do is I want to take this cobblestone and I want to put it like this. And then we're going to do this and we'll hit remember. And all that does is makes it so those spots are remembered. That way we don't have any issues where we're stacking up beyond that. I don't want this to fill up. I just want to have a stack of dragon essence that gets turned into dragon egg chunks that then gets turned into dragon eggs. So the last thing we need to do is we need to make stack upgrades. I'm going to need 2 of these, which means I'm going to need to do the speed upgrades first. I really need to go and teach the system how to make those, but okay. I need 8, I need 11 total. Actually, I need 3 more. I lied to you. Sorry. Okay, so what we need here is this needs to go stack upgrade, speed upgrade, and then we need an importer. And because we fixed our issue with our EMC system, when we import EMC items, they go into EMC. We put in a speed upgrade and a stack upgrade. Make it that way, it just looks better. We're importing the dragon eggs as fast as we're making them. And if you look at the top of our screen, we are now generating EMC in the millions. And keep in mind, that is with 1 layer of this farm running not at peak efficiency. So I'm going to spend some time in between episodes. We'll increase our power, and we're going to get it up to the point where we can transfer as much power as we can get through our network. We may even, what I might do is create a new network that is just for this system so we can really max it out and not drain the power from our main grid. But that it will be done in another episode because we're over our time today and we have to get going. We did a lot of crazy things. We have gotten finished with almost everything in this chapter. We still have a little bit of Botania to do and create. Project D is now just a matter of time until we have enough EMC to finish that chapter. But once we finish chapter 2, there's not much left before we get to the end game, and I am excited about that. Hope you guys are too. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.